actually express yourself, and it will be read out loud for the people to get to know that who is this asking questions and why are they also interested into this information that is coming out from us. Yes, today is Monday, which is the very first edition of the Morning Echo, where we have to take a look at what is really happening in and around the country. But before then, let's go for a quick morning drive, and we will come back and give you the news, headlines, and news in reviews. Do stay with us. Looking at our top stories of today before we get into review, the first one is, of course, Ruweng reports 9 killed in Dulanga farmland attack as Unity State vows justice and calls for calm. UN agencies warn more than 65,000 people or refugees and asylum seekers in South Sudan risk losing life-saving assistance amid funding shortages. Defense expected to cross-examine investigating officer in the murder case of 24-year-old Atoch Chol Lang of Juba City Council's cases. UN vehicle reportedly knocked down elderly SSPDF soldiers in Jebel as police intervened to prevent confrontation. And of course, more than 400 customers connected to electricity as Nimuli electrification project launches in Eastern Equatoria. And the final story that we will actually look at before we go to the regional stories and other ones is 30 South Sudanese repatriated from Egypt with support from the First Lady. These are the stories we have to actually review in details. And yes, the very first story today that we got is the heartbreaking story that happened in one of the farmland in Ruweng administrative area and the condemnation that followed after from the Unity State where the suspected attackers come from. According to the stories, of course, 9 killed in Ruweng farmland attack as authorities demand justice. Ruweng authorities have confirmed that 9 people were killed and 2 others injured after armed youth from Lake of Ropkona County reportedly attacked Dulanga farm in Alim County on August 13. Unity State has condemned the killing and say investigations are underway to identify those responsible, and that is what we need, of course. Yes, of course, based on these stories, it's really heartbreaking. 9 people, including a baby and 2 women, were actually killed in that attack, which is really very unfortunate. And it's a result of what we call inter-community, conflict. Greater Ruweng administrative area and Unity State, especially Rupkona. Ruweng is, an ethnicity, a different ethnicity, and Rupkona is from a different ethnicity, who had been actually had a long-standing conflict over that part. Ruweng had been actually part of Unity State before they asked to be exclusively an administrative area. That's what happened right then. Yes, another problem is, yes, risk of retaliations. The community and the government of Unity State actually asked for calm, and they will do their best to investigate what actually happened exactly that led to the killing of people in the farmland from nearby Ruweng administrative area. And the involvement of the 2 administrative areas is expected to actually give the relative calm in the area and immediate security implications. Potential escalation of an existing conflict need to be avoided at all costs, and that is what we have right there. Now, of course, moving on to our second story. UN warns 65,000 refugees and asylum seekers face loss of life-saving aid. According to this story, UNHCR and WFP have warned that more than 65,000 refugees and asylum seekers in South Sudan are at risk of losing access to food, nutrition, and other assistance because of critical funding shortages. Yes, of course, based on this story, this is the major humanitarian story that we have today, and that's why it actually took our second ranking, because we have to give you stories based on how impactful they are and how strong they are. And yes, when it comes to humanitarian assistance in this country, it is 100% funded by humanitarian, let's say, funded by UN, WFP, and many other different kind of NGOs. But now, since USAID has actually been announced funding cut since last year, it has been very hard for these humanitarian agencies to maintain or give the refugees the life-saving hopes that they need. Now it's hard time. It's also important for the government to also take into account that yes, these people are citizens, but because of conflict, they got displaced and they are somewhere outside their own homes that they should supposed to be farming and do other businesses for their own survival. That is the story we have right there. Now moving on to our third story. Well, defense expected to cross-examine investigating officer in a Tochol Lang murder case. The defense team is expected to cross-examine the investigating officer on Monday in the case involving the death of 24-year-old Atochol Lang, whose body was found in a swimming pool at Juba Hotel last September. That was last year, of course. Well, murder case of a young victim ongoing, and there is also ongoing judicial proceeding. Public interest in justice and accountability has been the major concern when it comes to this very story, and it is really so unfortunate. Yes, the cross-examination will reveal actually what really happened about the investigation and the evidence presented in the court, and that's why it is very important for the officer concerned in the investigation process to be cross-examined, which is a very important legal procedure that is taken into account. Now moving on to our next story, which is elections. Well, when you talk of election, yes, there is election. High school student says South Sudan should not delay vote. A high school student has argued during a school debate that South Sudan's election should not be postponed any longer. And well, this is the main topic that is lingering in each and every mind of the citizens of South Sudan, including the kids. They need to see change through elections. And if it is through elections, what do? We have to make do of voting to exercise our right, to make sure that people who are there representing us in the parliament know exactly why they are there and the service they should actually render to the people. And that's why election is very important, and it has led to that debate at school. And now let's take a look at the video where that young girl actually argued a point and based on the case.
Okay, we have been told to postpone elections because of insecurity, political instability, not enough resources, and to wait for perfect peace. Yet after years of delay, these same problems remain. The truth before this house is undeniable. If postponement was a solution, we would not be discussing the challenges today. A very big difference between South Sudan and other nations is that South Sudan does not suffer from too many elections to claim that election has had its chance, but rather it suffers from none. Judges, if you had observed with me, the entire opposition team has been rotating in a circle of insecurity, no censures, poor infrastructure as reasons to postpone elections. But without giving concrete evidence, it's hilarious because these are not arguments against an election anymore, but rather evidence and proof of what happens when a nation spends years postponing the very democratic process designed to address them. Well, judges, ladies and gentlemen, South Sudan can learn from its history that the more our government the government cannot be repeating the same action of postponement and expect a different result. Because the more we delay democracy, we delay development. The more we delay accountability, we delay stability. Because an election delay is an election denied. And I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that ballots are safer than bullets. For ballots don't kill, but bullets do. And if South Sudanese citizens are given the chance to raise their pens and cast a vote at the ballot this December, they will lay down their guns and voices of violence, not to rebel against the government they have chosen legitimately. So for this reason, this motion and its rejectors fall fugitive before their own strategic weaknesses. At the pinnacle of recognition, profound greetings goes to the table of the High Moderator, the adjudicators, proponents and opponents, or rather rivals of today's debate, chronometric officer, ladies and gentlemen, all dignitaries held with high prestige. For it is with wavering conviction and great power that I, Gloria Williams, rise as the last speaker.
And yes, that was how it went down in that school debate, where that young girl actually put out her points to depend why should we have and why should we not have election. Now let's turn our focus into the second tier of the stories that we got for today. Now, major national and public interest stories are the one that we're going to have. And yes, there's one story that broke yesterday. Football final marred by gunfire as Al Ghazal Wow claims Super Cup title. Al Ghazal Wow defeated Al Merreikh 1-0 at Bullock Playground to win the National Super Cup, but celebrations were overshadowed by crowd violence and report of gunfire in the air. So let's take a look at what actually went down. That is exactly what happened. The Al Ghazal Wow won the Super Cup, and what really happened, the video, and also what happened in Munich, where one of the known footballers known as Pop Smoke was actually beaten, and that is the image right there showing him being treated in the hospital. He lost consciousness when he was beaten and was carried to the hospital completely out of conscious state. He was completely really bad and is getting better. And then another video that we need to also look at is a man being shown actually holding gun in the football field. And let's take a look at the video before we come back and talk about it. So that is what it looks like in our country when it comes to sport. Yeah, people are really, I don't know, why would someone come to the football field with a gun? First of all, if the authority of South Sudan Football Federation or Football Association is serious, why at the first place would someone get into the football field with a gun? It is prohibited at its strongest terms. There is no negotiation about it. You come to the football field, you come as a civilian, a definite civilian. There is no need for you to have a gun. Okay, there are stewards who are always in the field. These stewards are civilian, or maybe soldiers that are completely armless. They can never carry guns. They will do whatever process by using their hands, because these people who are coming to the field are civilian. You don't need to hold a gun to come and threaten them. And this has been the case in our country, where this thing is, an order of the day. And if FIFA see that particular incident out there, trust me, this country will still be given some other harsh conditions in order to meet the requirements of the international football agencies. So it's really so bad, and that's how it was yesterday. That was right before the game of, right after the game of Maria Bintiu and El Ghazal of WOW that actually happened yesterday at Bullock. That was a separate incident. And then the other incident that also happened in Bullock, where the other player whom you actually saw lying down there was actually beaten. It was between a game between Twitch Mayadit versus, of course, versus Trey Bet, where a game that ended 1-1, but yes, it was due to a delay of the minutes given. The game took more than the minutes given. Yes, always, you know that a game is always 90 minutes, and then there's additional minutes. So the referee, because of his other reasons, maybe there was some other delays that happened within the extra time. He delayed the minutes up to like 15 minutes, which is not the given time. I think the given time was like, I think it was 8 minutes. He added his own other minutes until it reaches up to 15 minutes, and the goal was equalized lately. That led to the problem by the fans. They invaded the field, they started beating the players, they started beating the referee, they started beating the fans of that team that were actually in support of the goal that was scored. And that is the case that happened yesterday in Munich. And I was meant to understand that the football field, the community around there actually removed all the poles. I think it's a protest to tell people that they don't need these community things that are causing violence in their neighborhood, and that might, or what was the reason, we are yet to find out what exactly happened, because we were told that the poles, all the goal poles were taken out of the field. And you know that Munich football field that is next to St. Peter's Church is where that thing actually happened. Now let's look at our next story, which is about, of course, player. No, that is not the story. We have already got it already. Now let's take a look at our next story right here, where Morobo leaders demand better security and services. According to this story, community and youth leaders in Morobo County are calling for improved security, education, healthcare infrastructure when Central Equatorial Governor Emmanuel Adil Anthony says insecurity must first be addressed before humanitarian development partners can effectively support the county. Yes, this story happened yesterday, and a lot of images actually came out, and some of them we don't have them, and some of them are out there on different media houses that is showing people faces, how they were actually looking like, and why it is really concerning when it comes to these other counties that are at the edges of Central Equatoria, be it Kojikeji, be it Morobo, and of course other areas like Bazi. It's really quite harsh when it comes to those areas. And based on that story, it was a bit tricky, because that place is not secure completely, because between Ye and Morobo, that road leading there is not really safe enough. But I think because of the community and the people who are there, have tried to stop the worst that could possibly happen, which was later on addressed. That is what we have right there from Central Equatoria, Morobo, Congo border. Now moving on to one of the stories that we had is about a UN vehicle reportedly hits elderly SSPDF soldier in Jebel. Well, according to the story, SSPDF soldier, elderly soldier, was hit by UN security vehicle yesterday, and that is the story that we got right there. And of course, authorities have to immediately come in to prevent escalation. The victim was taken to hospital, while police reportedly prevented hungry overlookers from attacking the alleged UN driver. Why? Of course, this story is about public safety. Sometimes people move in a very careless way, especially men in uniform. This should be a serious case. I understand UN vehicle will never run over someone without carriers, because somebody mistakenly or intentionally decide not to actually move faster in the road and people are on the run, how would actually that happen? So that is what we have right there, and the risk of confrontation was actually reduced when the police came in to stopped the onlookers from trying to escalate the situation into something that would result into violence. Confrontation. That is what we have right there. Now let's move to our third tier of the stories of the day. Well, governance, justice, and social issues are the stories that we're going to look at. Now moving on to one of the stories is from one of the blocks or one of the Payams of Juba County, which is Kator. Well, according to the story, Kator Court given exclusive jurisdiction over Juba City Council backlog. Chief Justice and Supreme Court President Dr. Benjamin Bagdeng has designated Kator Court to exclusively handle the backlog of cases pending before the Juba City Council. And that's the story we had right there when it comes to Juba City cases that are related to City Council and all that you need to know. Well, according to this, the question to be asked is, can the special judicial arrangement accelerate justice and clear the backlog of Juba City Council cases? That is the story for you to actually take with you and answer. Of course, this is a strong governance policy if it is actually implemented, and the administration of justice in the capital should also get attached and get involved so that cases of those characters should be addressed. Now moving on to the story in Western Equatoria State. Well, according to the story we got here, 5 women with disabilities reportedly abandoned after pregnancies. The Western Equatoria State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare say it has received a report involving 5 women with disabilities who were allegedly impregnated and later abandoned. Of course, according to this story, the protection of women with disabilities and accountability for perpetrators is the main thing. This is very important, you know, when it comes to strong social interest value and should not be buried too deeply. Even though it has, of course, what we call national interest, there are people out there who are really heartless. First of all, how do you develop that interest to have the intercourse with a disabled person, and then later on you shy away from taking the responsibility when it comes to pregnancy cases? How is that possible? 5 women being abandoned because of they are disabled. But first, what were you thinking? These are the things that we actually have to spark conversation around, and you have to put in your comment when it comes to the stories that we have right there. Now moving on to the next story that we have to look at. Well, South Sudanese repatriated from Egypt with First Lady's support. According to this story, 30 South Sudanese nationals arrived in Juba following a repatriation initiative led by First Lady Mama Mary Ayan Mayadit. According to this story, of course, there are a lot of South Sudanese who were in Egypt and they were actually, they wanted to come back, but it was hard for them to come back. Some of them were students, some of them were people who are refugees there, but they had wanted to come back home, and it became very difficult because they didn't have the money to actually get the air ticket back home and also access the visa back home. This was a story that we got from that part, and yes, the First Lady of the country happened to try her best to bring these people who are stranded in Egypt back to the country, and that's what we have right there. Now to the first tier of our stories on development and regional stories. Well, Nimuli electrification project connects more than 400 customers. According to the stories, more than 400 customers have reportedly been connected to electricity following the launch of the Nimuli electrification project in Eastern Equatoria under, of course, the theme, Power Behind Progress. According to these stories, well, there is massive number of people who are going to be the beneficiaries of the electrification project that happened in Nimuli yesterday, and the number has been estimated to be 400 people who are going to be connected to electricity, which is the best thing to actually have. If 400, we can start with the 400 and then we push now for further numbers to making sure that Nimuli town is completely lit when it comes to power and electricity. So that is the story we have right there. Now moving on on to another story that we got. It's Uganda and Kenya challenge Rwanda's alcohol ban. Well, if you know the stories that had been happening, Uganda and Kenya had challenged the alcohol ban that happened in Rwanda. Uganda had joined Kenya in challenging Rwanda's suspension of several alcoholic beverages manufactured in two countries, citing regional trade rules and lack of scientific justification. This case is a regional case, and South Sudan should also join in this kind of thing. There are a lot of very useless alcoholic beverages that are brought into the country, and they are quite very cheap and they can make you drunk so easily. These alcohol have actually claimed a lot of life, and South Sudan should also take serious measures into doing what Rwanda is doing. It's not about bringing in a lot of alcohol. They're not interested into having alcohol. We need food. We need other better things, not alcohol. And yes, because Uganda and Kenya being the manufacturers of those alcoholic beverages, they challenge the Rwanda's stand of not wanting this type of alcoholic beverages coming into their country. And that is the story we have from the regional part. Now moving on to the fifth tier of the country, of the stories that we got for today. Yes, we have to turn our focus into politics, religion, and human interest stories. And the first story that we have to look at today is, of course, President Kiir congratulates newly ordained Catholic priest. President Salva Kiir attended a Holy Mass at St. Teresa Cathedral in Juba, where newly ordained priest, Reverend Father Nelson Swaka Gore, prayed for the president, his leadership, peace, unity, and the well-being of South Sudanese. Yes, this story, of course, is telling us exactly to carry out the same immediate urgency, just like what we have when it comes to the case. Yes, it is important to consider faith when it comes to truth and reconciliation. And however, because it involves the president also, it's very important for you to know that, yes, the president is a faithful religious person. Of course, the name Salva is a religious name, a Catholic name, and he's a Catholic churchgoer. So that is the story we got yesterday from St. Teresa Cathedral in Juba, where the president has been seen once after a very long time. People normally ask, how do president look like without his cowboy hat on? Now I think you have seen how the president is really looking like, and if you had been actually trying to know so hard, exactly, that is the images that we have right there. I've shown you the president without the cowboy hat, and that is also very important and interesting that he also goes to church, because he's a Catholic, he's a devoted Catholic faithful that goes to church every Sunday, and you can actually find him mostly going to Kator, going to St. Teresa Cathedral and many other Catholic churches across Juba. He always gets there whenever he wants to go to the church. And that's the story we have. Now moving on to our next story is, of course, man allegedly caught on camera attempting to steal plastic shares in Chirkat. Well, according to this story, it's of course a light crime, but it is quite hilarious looking at how it was actually looking like. Let's take a look at the video. I shall come back and say what it is all about.
Arami, leer kursi gana. Eh? Leer ke nore. Ha? Kaun men. Leer ke no. Ha?
That is what was actually like when it comes to normal theft that happen in areas, and that was one of the residential areas in Juba, which is Shirkat, one of the most notorious areas when it comes to gang-related activities like theft, robbery, and all sort of things that are illegal or are prohibited by law. That young man was trying to collect the plastic shares, not knowing that someone was inside the room filming him. And when he was about to actually take them out, he was asked, "What are you doing with the share? Are you people the thief that are always taking our shares?" And he went out smiling and in shame. So that's the story we have right there. Now looking at another story is, of course, about the viral skit that happened where Majendit and his actually group were actually making one of the process that is an order of the day. In South Sudan, if you come to Juba and you have somebody who is your rival, and you have community members, you go to the community, give them money, and try to tell them that Mr. So and so from within community doesn't like me. As my community people, we must actually stand together and fight Mr. So. And this has been most of the contents that are coming from majority nowadays are from that particular political angle. He has been actually making a lot of skits. And let's take a look at the video and see what it was like when it comes to a skit that are related to politics and how some politicians actually use their communities as shield into protecting their seat in the government in the capital city, Juba. Let's take a look at the video.
I'm proud of you. Thank you so much. أنا بقول community هذا قوي community هذا متعلم كم يا جماعة في ناس عندهم مشكلة معي في جوبا أنا وريتكم يوم ده في جنرات في ونربلات عندهم مشكلة قال مع مجد عشان كده أقول ده community هذا لازم يزول عنده مشكلة معي ده مشكلة بتاعكم مشكلة بتاعي ده مشكلة بتاعكم عشان كده أبى أجيب لكم أكل أجيب لكم قروش أجيب لكم أي حاجة
Wonder.
أنا في ويب أنا أجيب لكم ماذا
I wonder.
أنا قلت عايز أقول لكم مشكلة معي ماشي شيلوا يا
My lord.
لكن برنامج ده كله كده انا ما فاهم فوقه حاجه يا هو ايش قروش فوق عصايه ده برنامج تشنيع انت قاصد شنو عصايه يا سو كبير كده وقع علينا
اوكي يا جماعه زي ما وريتكم انينا في جوبا هناك مشكله بتاعنا دي مشكله بتاعكم اوكي اقول اي جرى لانه مشكله معي ولا انا في جوبا هناك دي مشكله انا قلت وزات حاجات عشان تبدا مشاكل من كوميونتي تومان قريبين بس community dawe
majority okay ten ka ban o gachi wiji to kanen to wan bin wo be duong e ku jalawe o to ten o gachi wiji to asuma ka kon lo ke juba do ka chol ka pan mon jang ba o bi to mi pan akiriya pan an jeng ban kuluk akiriya ka ban ko aga ko no rot kwa we ko to geo ka ha we ko to mi yang tinga we ga bi ben kwa we abi talgat ba ka joben duongale ba ko ben to mi mu mikela
ko je jakoi ku wi bale we ko geo ki chaglo ki chagjok chu da nga yen ka yerten bu ko ya ga ko nak ruon to ben mene yu ko jobe tek den ku e ka ngo ka
ai ka lu
ka o ga bu kan thor ka we kala
wa ju be ki man dan ba kan be to na wo ku e ka to kala kala يا زول كبير يعني حاسه ده مشاكل جدا ما ناس جوبا ها انت تيجي تجيبوا لنا نحن نقتل عيالنا ها ونتعب انت كان عندك مشكله مع ناس كبار امشي ميدان حريه دونغران فينا تمشي شاكل وقدرقوها بتاكل يعني انت لو ناديتنا في كلام ده
يا جماعه معقول يا جماعه انا الليدر بتاعكم يا جماعه
واقفين معك لو في مشاكل تموت معك هذا اونربل عدل ومن بيجي براو انا وفالكو واخوي ده بس دي لنا قروج بس نينا جاهزين واقفين وراك
you disappointed me يا جماعه now they are disappointed
ayo mun ga dogul min kina giga azana baden ma buguni musaqbala ko achi wa
انت جاي ما دار قروج بس
And that is the beauty of skit making, by the way. Sometimes it's very important to communicate some of the social problems and political cases in a humorous way. Looking at that video that you just saw right there is, of course, one of the community leaders that has gone to the community and tell them that he is soon campaigning for, a position of the chairperson in the community. But first, he gave them money, he gave them food, and he said there are people within the community who are in Juba, in the government, that need to that doesn't like him and they need to kill him. As a community member and someone who is loved by his community, he has to make sure that the community has to rally behind him and fight these people. And then people will also ask, after they actually ask why's the money and why the food? And is it because of his problem in Juba that is bringing food and money to people so that people will go and die because of him? So that was what actually happened there. And some people left, they throw back the money, they left the food. And others was like, yes, bring all this money and we must die with you. That was exactly what the story is right there. It's political, it's humorous, it's comedy, it's all sort of things put together. Is a full package kind of information in a very important way. So there are a lot of talents in this country that can express exactly what the situation is like, just like the other young man that has been trending, that said he will never vote for the president because he has his own reasons. One, because he's disabled, he got his leg amputated because of this country, his father died because of this country, and he's really in agony and pain. And he will never vote for any of this government that is on. That was one of the viral cases that has been happening on social media. And that young man is from, of course, Kwajuk, the state capital of Warab, where the president comes from. This tells you that the agony is serious at different levels in this country. Regardless of where you come from, the pain is similarly shared. Some people are actually more painful because are more actually bearing the pain more than others because, yes, you are a target because you belong to certain ethnicity that are being, known as people who are, having that advantage or the privilege of having the resources of the country. So it is what it is. More skits like this should be put out there, and people should learn exactly. Based on that skit, one, people are getting to their senses. Why are we being mobilized by a politician who need to go and get his position and he get himself the riches of the country? Why is that important? It's not really. Now let's go to one of the videos where the head of civil society organization, that is Edmond Yakani, was actually having something to say. Let's take a look at what Yakani is saying.
I would like to build on some of the messages that the President of the Youth Union have raised. I'm honestly and sincere, Honorable Minister of Interior, so disappointed. How come young people can't go to the mausoleum where our father, the founding nation, John Garang, is? We can't celebrate Youth Day there. We are kicked out from there as young people. Why? If there's any message, let this message reach to His Excellency President. Why should young people be denied to be in the mausoleum? Who is that special person that want to enjoy the mausoleum, not the generations to come? We are so disappointed. It's a real disappointment. It's a real disclosure that some people feel they are so powerful in this country that they own us and the country and their decision is everything. No, please, let's stop that. We walk out of Sudan because of oppression, marginalization, and denial not to speak. Why should we repeat this under the flag of South Sudan? If in 1983 we go to cover that, we should repeat that. That's the key message that we are so disappointed and should be taken serious. I know the fear may be that if the young people go to the mausoleum of Garang, they may organize a strike. We are not going to push. We are not going to do anything. Elections are on the way. Whether tomorrow, next tomorrow, until next year, our votes is going to determine. Good enough. You mess before us. Mess before us. We see the votes that are coming. And good enough in South Sudan, there's nothing secret. We know the individuals behind why it should not be in Garang Mausoleum. We need to see them in the ballot boxes. If they can get one vote, thanks to God. So please, that's for me the message I'd like to convey forward. My second message is that, Honorable Minister of Youth, we must really take a responsibility in regard to youth and violence. Young people, you like to blame the elders, but my question is, why do you accept to receive the AK-47 and the bullets to go and fight in the name of the community? Why do you accept? So also young people, you have a responsibility to avoid not to be mobilized by the uncles to fight for their survival. Why do you accept? We keep on blaming, it's the elders who make us to kill ourselves. But who is shooting the gun? Is it the elders? Who is ready? Is it the elders? Today we say 70% of the population of the country. If we go and count the deaths in the number of communal violence, 70% are young people. Why do you kill yourselves? Who told you you will go with your tribe to heaven? Only like that. These tribes are created for not us to kill ourselves. These tribes are created for us to accept each other and live together as a nation. And I would like to convey some specific messages to some specific youth in the country. My brothers and sisters from Warab, listen. What you're doing in Tonj is a national concern. We'll never watch, we'll never keep quiet. We want you to stop all this nonsense. If you're from Warab here, you're from Tonj here, stop all this nonsense. This is revenge attacks. Who are you killing? You are killing on behalf of who? Because of some elders here who want to be leaders through your blood and you're proud? So please, this, what is going on in Tonj, what's going on in Warab, you must stop.
And that is, of course, the head of civil society organization, Edmond Yakani, having a statement there during International Youth Day celebration at Grand Museum this very weekend. I think that was Saturday. So that's the story we have right there. Now moving on beyond our country, let's go to Nigeria, where one of the celebrities, that is none other than David Adeleke, known as Davido, was actually seen celebrating his uncle's win when he won the state seats as the governor of one of the states where he comes from. Let's take a look at the video, and that video will be the last news review that we'll have before we take a look at the second hour.
Law is hereby declared the winner.
Yeah! That's all! We don't win! That's all! Win! That's all! That's all! That's all, my boss. Congratulations! You won the election, my boss. Now so. Oh, one for a reason. Oh, one for a reason. Oh, one for a reason. Have you won the election, girl? Number one. Oh, one. Now so. We don't win. Now so. We don't win, my girl. We don't win. We don't win. We don't win. We don't win. We don't win, my boss. We don't win, that's all. Congratulations, that's all. That's all.
Of course, it is everywhere. Of course, Nigeria, just like South Sudan, when your uncle is being appointed in South Sudan, you can never actually tell the level of excitement people normally get into. Yeah. So the same thing in Nigeria. It happens when your uncle or your father or any of the relatives got appointed or got, win the election, especially the by-elections. You can celebrate, and that's what David Adeleke, known as Davido, when it comes to music or entertainment, is actually being seen doing. He was so full of excitement. His uncle won. Yes, they have their own resources, but do you know what it feels like to have resources and also have power in the government? Your resources will be fully protected, and that's why sometimes if you have money, you have to also get into politics so that your resources are fully protected. That is another twist of how things look like. Power, money, and everything is complete. This is what human nature is like. So that is our very last story that we got today, and let's turn our focus into the next hour, where we may have the guest, who is none other than the Lake State Youth Union Chairperson, Dut Amos Alim. Let's wait and see. If he's coming, we will actually come back. If he's not coming, we will still let you know about what exactly happened to that particular segment of the story. Do stay with us.
Good to see you. It's been a while. How are you?
Hey,
Are you alright?
that you're doing?
Where are you guys headed to?
Sweetheart, I'm going to Entebbe.
Oh,
I was
amazing.
supposed to go on Tuesday, but I missed that flight.
Of course.
And I have to wait for tomorrow.
That is good that you're also going to Entebbe. But what about you, Diana?
I also had Premier got to Mogadishu from Nairobi.
Okay, that is good.
Since they are dealing with cargo, I also have some cargo I have to send to Mogadishu.
Good. All the best.
Yeah,
I just hope you get it and you're through with your cargo. Even you, Vicky.
Thank you, darling.
I just hope you get for tomorrow and you're
Thank you
off.
so much.
Thank you so much. I have to
Okay,
catch up. Let me let you.
Okay.
All right, dear. Thank you.
Hi, dear. How are you?
I'm okay.
I want to go to Entebbe tomorrow. Do you have space?
Yeah, tomorrow we have flight to Entebbe.
Okay, please. Kindly get me my ticket.
Okay, dear. Dear, here's your ticket.
Oh,
and thank you for choosing Premier Airlines.
Thank you so much. At what time is the check-in, please?
Check-in time tomorrow it will be at 7:30.
I can see it is included.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Enjoy your flight and your holiday.
Thank you so much.
At Premier Airlines, we are committed to providing you with the best travel offers and exceptional service, making every journey easy, fast, and stress-free. From smooth luggage handling to seamless boarding. Our experienced and dedicated staff are here to ensure your comfort and convenience every step of the way. Book your flight today and discover the skies with Premier Airlines. Visit our head office in Juba at Airport Business Center, Airport Road opposite Sadeco Building. Call the numbers on the screen, or you can as well email us today. We are here to plan your journey. Premier Airlines, discover the skies.
It's very bad. I have been putting this car.
Yes, your New Sudan insurance.
Yes, hello. I just got involved in it. It's really looking terrible.
Would you kindly send me the detail on my WhatsApp? I'm gonna send you our team.
Please do that. Please do that.
Insure with New Sudan Insurance Company. New Sudan Insurance Company offers motor insurance, health insurance, hotel comprehensive insurance, marine hull and cargo insurance, group personal accident insurance, travel health insurance, fire insurance, contractors all risk, workmen compensation insurance, money insurance, goods in transit insurance, life insurance, property all risk insurance, performance bond, plant and machinery insurance, political violence and terrorism cover, and much more.
I will request you sign here. Okay.
New Sudan Insurance Company is your trusted partner in securing what matters most to you. You are not just a policy holder, you are a family. Visit New Sudan Insurance Company website www.nesico.com or call +211 925 955 000 or +211 919 123 678 or +211 925 478 766 to be part of this family and protect what matters most to you. New Sudan Insurance Company, your risk managers in the Republic of South Sudan.
SteamSat Company Limited, a solution to satellite services like DSTV, StarTimes, LNB all types, subscriptions, free installations. We also do aluminium fabrication to doors, windows, partitioning, suspended ceiling, prefurb, panel cladding, glasses. Call us now on +211 925 068 406 +211 985 068. Email us on bnksolutions@hotmail.com.
Find us on Gudele Road after Pacific Petrol Station on the right hand, just 500 meters from Advance Radio.
Every product, every journey, every successful business begins with one thing: logistics. Imagine an Africa where borders create opportunities, not barriers, where goods move faster, businesses grow stronger, and innovation powers prosperity. That future begins in Juba, South Sudan from the 25th to 27th August this year. The magnificent Pyramid Continental Hotel hosts the 7th Global Logistics Convention. Pyramid Continental Hotel. 3 unforgettable days, one powerful gathering. Meet industry leaders, policymakers, investors, freight forwarders, transport innovators, and business executives shaping the future of African trade. Explore cutting-edge logistics solutions, build strategic partnerships, unlock investment opportunities, and discover the next chapter of regional integration and economic growth. Will you be there? Register today at www.globallogisticsconventions.com. Hosted by South Sudan Freight Forwarders Association. Powered by Capital Pay, VI Service, Kun Climate Center, Corporate Bank of South Sudan, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Transport, Road, Bridges, and the South Sudan Chamber of Commerce. GLC 2026, where trade meets opportunities and logistics spurs growth.
The game was on fire. Every pass, every goal, every second, unmissable. Then, blackout. But not all screens go dark. One app, one tap, changes everything. With My Home TV, the match never stops. Live, anywhere, anytime. My Home TV. Your TV, always with you.
As Juba Echo TV, we are very excited to really say that we've stood the test of times. We are the first private TV to really, last this long. We've lasted this long, and we've gone through a lot of challenges, and we believe we are now in a very, very strong position to expand and be really the voice of private media, especially when it comes to broadcasting, when it comes to TV that is coming from South Sudan. We are the only private TV in South Sudan today, and we are also the first TV from South Sudan to join platforms such as Star Times.
Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Which is watched in most parts of Africa. So anyone can now actually watch contents from South Sudan across Africa. You can find us on Star Times channel 529 or 529. We are also the first South Sudanese TV channel to be on My Home TV, which you can watch across the globe. You just download the mobile app, My Home TV, and wherever you are in any part of the world, so long as you are connected to internet, you can watch Juba Echo TV. For us, this is amazing because we always move around and interact with colleagues, whether in the East African region or even beyond the East African region. And most of the times you find that information about South Sudan is really, really very scarce. People do not know. People only talk about war. People do not believe that we even have structures in this country, like in terms of building, in terms of roads. People only talk about things like hunger. People do not know that there is entertainment in this country. There are musicians.
You can call me the bad girl, the star girl, live on Juba Echo.
Hey yo, this is your boy Nelson MJ. I'm live at Juba Echo TV.
Juba Echo. Juba Echo.
Juba Echo TV.
Juba Echo TV.
Juba Echo TV. Yo, I'm Gaddafi Johnson, aka Gaddafi J Original.
There are other artists, and there are so many other things that are also happening in this country. There are business people. So as Juba Echo TV, we are providing this opportunity to really, really showcase what South Sudan has, but also to provide opportunities for people who otherwise would not have chance to be on the national TV, which is our national broadcaster, the state-owned TV, which has a lot of pressure on it because it was the only TV. Now we are providing this alternative for young people, for youth who want to express themselves, to have this platform to express themselves. We are providing opportunity for business people who may not have other platforms to showcase their businesses, to talk about their businesses, to talk about the opportunities that are there in the country. These opportunities are there for women who want to showcase what they are doing in the country, who want to showcase some of the challenges they are overcoming and opportunities that are there in the country. So this is a platform for children also to have their time.
I am coming to demonstrate
how germination takes place. Germination is the process by which a seed develops into a seedling and it grows into a plant.
So really we believe that this is the right thing that we are doing. We're expanding and we want to be able to reach every part of the world, taking South Sudanese stories to the people, for people to look at and understand, including of course our cultures, showing our beautiful cultures that we have in the country so that people can understand us. And we also have a team of amazing young people who have dedicated their time to do this work. We are very proud of the team doing amazing work under, of course, challenging conditions, because we're a new state that is trying to grow, to really start everything from zero. So the young people are very happy in terms of the knowledge they're acquiring. They are also very, very innovative and very willing to be very flexible. So we are very hopeful, we're very happy that we are going to go far. And for anyone who is in any part of Africa with Star Times, you can find our channel on channel 529. Those who may not be in Africa or anywhere else where you cannot have access to Star Times, you still have My Home TV that you can download as an application and you can still watch us. We are also, of course, on other platforms such as Facebook, such as YouTube, such as TikTok.
Juba Echo TV. Information for empowerment. Juba Echo TV. Information for empowerment.
Audio Jungle.
Juba Echo TV. Information for empowerment.
Good to see you. It's been a while. How are you?
Hey.
Are you alright?
Is that your glue?
Where are you guys headed to?
Sweetheart, I'm going to Entebbe.
Oh,
I was
amazing.
supposed to go on Tuesday, but I missed that flight.
Of course.
And I have to wait for tomorrow.
That is good that you're also going to Entebbe. But what about you, Diana?
I also had Premier got to Mogadishu from Nairobi.
Okay, that is good.
Since they are dealing with cargo, I also have some cargo I have to send to Mogadishu.
Good. All the best. I just hope you get it and you're through with your cargo. Even you, Vicky.
Thank you, darling.
I just hope you get for tomorrow on your own.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I have to catch up. Let me let you.
Okay.
All right, dear. Thank you.
Hi, dear.
How are you?
I'm okay. I want to go to Entebbe tomorrow. Do you have space?
Yeah, tomorrow we have flight to Entebbe.
Okay, please. Kindly get me my ticket.
Okay, dear. Dear, here's your ticket.
Oh,
and thank you for choosing Premier Airlines.
Thank you so much. At what time is the check-in, please?
Check-in time tomorrow, it will be at 7:30.
Ah, I can see it is included.
Yeah, okay.
All right, thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Enjoy your flight and your holiday.
Thank you so much.
At Premier Airlines, we are committed to providing you with the best travel offers and exceptional service, making every journey easy, fast and stress-free, from smooth luggage handling to seamless boarding. Our Experienced and dedicated staff are here to ensure your comfort and convenience every step of the way. Book your flight today and discover the skies with Premier Airlines. Visit our head office in Juba at Airport Business Center, Airport Road opposite Sadeco Building. Call the numbers on the screen, or you can as well email us today. We are here to plan your journey. Premier Airlines. Discover the skies.
Juba Echo TV. Information for empowerment.
Another question on human rights is that why are human rights included in a constitution? Should we have human rights included in a constitution? And the answer is yes, that in all constitutions, human rights are actually included. And I will read a bit from my book here. Human rights are included in a constitution to ensure that government respects and protects them. When people come together and decide to adopt a constitution, they give government the responsibility to protect them or to protect everyone's right, to ensure that everyone can enjoy their rights without threat of harm. It is not up to government to decide which right to allow people to enjoy and which right to withhold. Human rights are rights that people enjoy because they're human beings, and therefore they are guaranteed in the constitutions of countries, and the government therefore is compelled to protect but also to promote those rights. So human rights, what are human rights? First of all, if we want to define human rights, let us start by defining what rights are. So what is a right? A right is a claim to something. Therefore, when we talk about human rights, we are talking about those rights that every human being has because they are human beings. For example, if we say you have freedom of expression, it means you are free, you have a right to express yourself, whether through drawing, through talking, through writing, through sign languages, through cartoons, to express what you want to communicate with the world. It is a right that you have because you are a human being. And those rights can never be taken away by somebody else, or should never be taken away by somebody else, because you have those rights by the virtue of the fact that you are born a human being. That's why it is said that human rights are inalienable. You cannot take them away, except, of course, by provision of the law. So again, human rights are those rights that you enjoy because you are a human being. Now we are on the question of, can human rights be limited? And if so, how can human rights be limited? We now know that human rights can be limited. Under what conditions? Condition number one is that such a limitation must be stated in law. It must be provided for in law. For example, if there is freedom of expression, which says you can express yourself however you want, but then there has to be law to really say, for example, you cannot use the freedom of expression to incite violence. If you are accusing somebody that they have incited violence, there must be law that punishes or curtails incitement to violence. You cannot just assume from your head and say you are inciting violence and there is no actually law that says incitement to violence is unlawful. So there must be law that says incitement of violence is criminal, illegal, and so forth. then you can use that law to curtail the freedom of expression to the extent that it is not supposed to incite violence. That is one condition under which you can, or human rights, in as far as the freedom of expression can be curtailed. Yes.
We got right there where we actually waited for the guests, but unfortunately, because of the traffic today being Monday, people are not really really organized, and the guests, because of so many reasons, we cannot actually confirm now. Maybe because of traffic, maybe because of some other thing, maybe God forbid he must not be feeling well. We don't really have answers to why the guests did not come, but yes, we do apologize for actually raising your hope on that. Now let's take a look at the other stories that we got. Now in Uganda, there is a story of one of the government officials saying there should be no refugees coming into the country, and the refugees that are in the country should go back to their countries. And the video is right there for you to see. Let's take a look at what he is actually telling people.
How are you? Do you pay school fees? Do you pay school fees? How much? How much are you?
And yes, that is not actually AI. As you can see from that video that we actually just played, it's not the video of the Ugandan official, government official that was telling refugees to go back to their countries, and those who are trying to come to the countries to stop. That is a video of a cow that was actually captured on camera looking at a woman that is selling milk by the roadside. Some people who are actually on the comment section said the cow is saying, this is bring back my milk. So some people are putting those comments saying that that might be what the cow is saying. In its head, it is telling the woman to bring back the milk because the woman is selling the milk. So it might be like, bring back the milk. And it was standing there for quite a long time looking at the woman seriously. So that is what we just actually witnessed over there. Now let's take a look at the next video that we have right there. And this video is about one of the Ugandan most exciting minister currently. That is none other than Honorable Balaam. Of course, Honorable Balaam is the owner of Radio 1 that has been also in South Sudan. He's a serious businessman, and he's doing a job that cannot be done by corruption anti-commission or anti-corruption commission of Uganda. Is doing way better than that. Now, look at what is going on in Uganda currently. Balaam is dealing with the small, people that he can control at his level, and then Mohozi is dealing with those big thieves. So you have to jump according to your stages. Balaam is arresting people who are not doing properly the services that they actually ask the government to do. For example, starting from school to roads to all these other sectors that relates to people at the grassroots. Now let's take look at a video where he actually went to the school and he asked the school administration, why are they overcharging students? Yet the education has been declared by the president free of charge. What is all these charges? What are all these charges for, and the fees that they're asking students to pay for? Yet education is supposed to be free. Let's take a look at the video.
How are you? Do you pay school fees? Yes. Do you pay school fees? How much? How much are you paying?
Okay, it depends. We are paying school fees for 3 categories. First one is for those there without meals.
I can't see her.
Speak louder. Speak louder. We are paying fees for 3 categories. We have to pay without meals. They are paying 80,000. 80,000.
Without meals.
They without meals.
What is that for?
We don't know, but
where's the headmaster? You come.
Is it there?
You come there. Stand there. So you are saying you are paying 80,000 for a day without meals? Yeah. Then another one?
Day with the meals.
How much?
That is 220.
Day with meals.
Yeah.
The next one?
Boarding.
How much?
That's 300,000.
Boarding is approved. But day without meals, why are you charging them 80,000 without meals? And yet it is the government of Uganda building the schools. It's government, hold on, it's government of Uganda paying the teachers. Why do you undermine the president when he makes a directive? The president told you government schools, day schools, city schools, education is free. And you only charge people for meals. So where is the 80,000 going?
We are less by 10 teachers. We have employed some teachers who are paid locally here. That is why we
Did you get approval of Minister of Education? Where's the PTA chairman? Come. How many students do you have in there? Board, you can come, Zay.
It's PTA.
Where's the board chairman?
Now, Mzee, did you agree with the Mzee's position that government schools should be free of charge in their schools? How many teachers does the president support here?
15.
Now, free 15 teachers. Government has just spent 2.8 billion to build new classrooms, and you go ahead to charge students. Why are you doing that? Are you not denying these Marachi and a chance to study? Who approved the 80,000 for their schools without meals?
We agreed with the parents in the meeting.
That is thuggery. That's robbery. How many students do you have on their school without meals?
I cannot really give exact number, but I have it in the office. I can get the...
Maybe I can ask the member of parliament for representing your constituency here to speak about what does the UPE statute say and UCE statute say. Please, maybe you know better.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We have statute for universal primary education and statute for universal secondary education. The statute says that those who are day scholars and do not have any meals are expected not to pay any school fees. Unless there's an arrangement here which we can be, the Honorable Minister can be informed of if it is legal or illegal.
It's illegal because the president said students who are in school, in government-aided schools, should not pay school fees unless when the parents want. Did you get approval of Minister of Education? Where's the PTA chairman? Come. How many students do you have in there? Board, you can come, Zay.
It's PTA.
Where's the board chairman?
Now, Mzee, did you agree with the Mzee's position that government schools should be free of charge in their schools? How many teachers does the president support here?
15.
Now, free 15 teachers. Government has just spent 2.8 billion to build new classrooms, and you go ahead to charge students. Why are you doing that? Are you not denying these Marachi and a chance to study? Who approved the 80,000 for their schools without meals?
We agreed with the parents in the meeting.
That is thuggery. That's robbery. How many students do you have on their school without meals?
I cannot really give exact number, but I have it in the office. I can get the...
Maybe I can ask the member of parliament for representing your constituency here to speak about what does the UPE statute say and UCE statute say. Please, maybe you know better.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We have statute for universal primary education and statute for universal secondary education.
All right, welcome back from that story that you just saw right there. Is the Minister Balaam trying to, go to different schools, also private sectors in all the ministries and institutions that are controlled by local government. Being the Minister of Local Government, he is trying to go to the grassroots, meet the people, meet the schools, meet every other thing that happens in the state. Let's say, for instance, in Uganda, they use district. In the districts, counties and sub-counties, those ones there, so are the one that he went for. And the story that you saw there is what we call the work of anti-corruption commission that is being well taken seriously by the minister himself. Now let's take our story, which is about Peter Eddy, who was actually warned by the authorities for his property. So according to the story, Peter Eddy was warned by the authority when he actually predicted or prophesied that some of the prominent leaders will die in this country. Government allegedly responds to Prophet Peter Eddy's prophecy. The government of South Sudan has allegedly responded to Prophet Eddy after he prophesied that prominent leaders will die between August and December. According to report, officials warn him, if any government official dies, you will be held accountable and responsible. Not God. So that is what the authorities are saying. And because of that also, that story also changed. It changed because in another story that we got yesterday, Peter Eddy also revised his prophecy, saying that it will be an opposition leaders that are going to, meet their end between August and December. And that is the story we got right there. It's one of the funniest story we have ever got from our story yesterday. Now let's take a look at the next story, which actually brings in one of the vibrant comedians right now in the country, or skid maker, and that's none other than Rocker Ringo. Now let's take a look at that video and we shall come and talk about it.
Yali akala sujaji beri sakura jibula na zola tres ba de mala ale kala sikamba ba kan hayu mama kan ta ma ba munize dana ba kalambo kois beni abu wala du chani yakulu yakulu ni yala ba tarash kaman bana balga hak bitay le sultani ni ita shala kama de rinza na balga hak bitay le sultani ni salam ya sultan zola tres sultan shuvini ala janatim abu imad umi mad da khali ashan zola tres widu gurusu jami nusra tamam dere dini le zol ana ba fam zol leke wana fi madarasa an ke dana kan garata ko sana ma mawo da ankol butak da ankol ta di wa mola jat ke de kulu and you are in the janamarum ya zo mishkila wayin ta mishkila butak shinu beniya bu wala do chani ya kulu butak shinu beniya da she must be in school, she must learn, she must study, she must do everything kala butak butak junu butak ana madera ya sultan dissolve beniya ta kuta wala shilo wadi le raji le chana kulfo chawu yagi za da mu beniya da indu mishkila ya beniya mishkila butak shinu de sultan ma sultan charap kadir mama kwais yahu minalera itaman jinningen minalera da bujos beniya da kululo da butaka sada yes inja you are very lucky lo panmon yang ita nguning ke chak piao zo de indu grush da fi zo ju bera asana ba be sala tare de ke fi be ana ba doktor ni sada ya angol inja itu am jiku inja ya du kuisi ya to bera rajile ana ba shi mama angol jukura
Of course, when you look at that story, it brings together a lot of different parts of the issues. First one is a forced marriage. Second thing is corruption. Third thing is the involvement of the traditional authorities into forcing young girls to take people they don't really want to be with. Now, this is a deaf man, a person with disability, being rejected by the woman because she lost her parent, that is an uncle. Actually, it's a lot of things put together in that video that you can actually see right there. A lot of different messages being communicated. So that is what we have right there. Now moving on to our next story is about Cameroon women football team won the African Cup of Nations 2026, and that is what we are going to take a look at. Yes, the video is there for you to see the celebration as it happens. That is the Cameroon lifting the African Cup of Nations. I mean, women African Cup of Nations After beating Morocco in the semi-final, they went to final with Malawi. They beat Malawi and they lift the trophy. So yesterday it was a massive one. And if you actually see that goalkeeper that was given the best goalkeeper of the tournament, if you see the game that was played between Morocco and Cameroon, she saved a penalty during an open play and then saved 3 different penalties during shootout, and that tells you that women football has really improved in some of the countries, in some of the African countries, and it is a success to Samuel Eto'o, who is the president of Cameroon Football Federation, of Cameroon Football Association, that really oversees international football in their country. That is what really happened right there. You can see the celebration, you can see the excitement, you can see the whole thing put together in that story that we had. Now moving on to our next story that we had right here. The story is of course about Juba City Council carrying out a cleaning campaign, and according to the story, it is just being seen that Central Equatoria, or the office of the governor Central Equatoria, just put it out, there should be a cleaning campaign that is happening, and the picture should actually be displayed right there. You will see one of the roundabout being cleaned by one of the elderly members, probably member of the executive board of the government of Central Equatoria. So according to the story, it was a story actually posted by an individual, and this is what it looks like. According to the story, they said the esteemed office of to organize Yaba BBC with certificate of condemnation, commendation for his extraordinary and selfless service to the people of Yei. That is actually Yei, it is not Juba. That is Yei, where most of the people took charge of cleaning the town of Yei this very morning. And it is really beautiful, we have to do this. It's not a responsibility of the city council or the town municipality, especially for the case of Yei. We have Yei town municipality that is right there. It's not supposed to be only the municipality to do it. It is our collective responsibility as responsible citizens of South Sudan. And that's where that picture really came out from. It's from Yei, and that's the story we see. Now moving on to one of our very last story of the day, and this story is of course from all the way from Nigeria. If you take a look at what really happened before about the Davido celebrations, yes, there is another part of the story where the former president actually pay a surprise visit to congratulate, of course, His Excellency Ademola Jackson Adeleke, Governor of Osun State, following his successful re-election. Now let's take a look at the video over there. And yes, that's the story to wrap up our day today. And looking at all our news headlines and the news that we actually had for you today, we started locally, and the news that we had early from the hour of 7 up to this very hour. The first one, of course, was about 9 killed in Ruang farmland attack, as authorities also demand justice. And of course, the authorities in Unity State condemned the attack, and they are going to do a thorough investigation to take a look at what really happened and who are the perpetrators, and they have to be brought to book and face the law. The story that we also looked at today is about, and UN warns 650,000 refugees and asylum seekers face loss of life-saving aid, and that is one of the heartbreaking stories. Yes, our country has been entirely depending on UN aid agencies to actually help our refugees and the asylum seekers to really remain okay. But because of the funding cut, over 650 people are going to be affected, which is really so bad there. The story that we have also tried to look at today is, of course, about the defense expected to cross-examine investigation officer in Atochol Lang murder case. That was the story we had this early morning, and you already know what that one is like. And looking at another story that we have also seen is, of course, elections. High school students say South Sudan should not delay vote. And yes, another one is on major national and public interest stories is football final met by gunfire as Al Ghazal Wow claims Super Cup title. And well, another story that also broke yesterday at Buluk, not Buluk actually, it's also Muniki, where players injured as violence erupted at Baragazal County's tournament, where one of the key footballers from Twij Mayadi, that is none other than Pap Shol Smoke, has actually been terribly hospitalized after being beaten by the members of the supporting fund from the opposing team. So that is what we have right there from local stories. Now look, going to as far as Central Equatoria, ages of Central Equatoria, that is Morobok County, leaders and youth demand better security and services, as governor went there yesterday about 1. Now moving on to another story where UN vehicle reportedly hits an elderly SSPDF soldier, and authorities came in to prevent the situation from escalating. Governance, justice and security issues. This is the first story we had from that particular tier is, of course, Qatar Court given exclusive jurisdiction over Juba City Council backlog. That is what we have right there. And of course, 5 women with disabilities reportedly abandoned after pregnancies in Western Equatoria. That is the story we got from the land of Budwe. Now, South Sudanese repatriated from Egypt with First Lady's support, and the number is over 30 people being brought all the way from Egypt with the aid of First Lady of the country, bringing them to the country as they were stranded in Egypt. Another story was, of course, on development and regional stories. Nimuli electrification project connects more than 400 clients or customers across Nimuli town, and that is very important right there when it comes to developmental project. And the theme was power behind progress. That was the motto of what really went there. Now in Uganda, of course, Uganda and Kenya challenge Rwanda's alcohol ban. And you know very well, Uganda has been Rwanda recently banned alcohol that were brought all the way from Uganda and Kenya, and that has caused a backlash from the two countries who are producing the alcoholic beverages that are taken widely across East Africa. Now moving on to politics, religion, and human interest stories. President Kiir congratulated newly ordained Catholic priest yesterday, of course, at St. Teresa Cathedral in Juba. Man allegedly caught on camera also at Shirkat stealing plastic shares yesterday, and that was the video that you saw before, when a man was caught doing that on camera, and he left when he was asked what he was doing. There is also a viral skit maker, Majedit, highlights community division through comedy. And that was what you saw before on that video that we had. Those are the stories we had for today. I remain Nelson Mading, the host for the Morning Echo. Please, if you are part of this wonderful edition, do know that we are on channel 529 on Star Time. You can go and grab yourself a decoder of Star Time, and you'll be able to watch us live with your family at home. And also, if you don't really afford, or you don't really want to sit at home and watch us, you can download Afro mobile app on your mobile phone, and you'll watch us day in, day out. All the program we have from morning till the morning of tomorrow. Like, there is no stoppage. We have all these things offered to you, be it music, be it news, be it drama, be it comedy, be it movies, be it anything that you need to know that a TV could offer. Of course, Afro Mobile can give you that convenience at your own time. You watch your own TV in your pocket, wherever you go, whenever you want to watch, you will see whatever Juba Echo is offering you right there. And of course, To our loyal viewers, wherever you are actually tuning in, thank you so much for being part of this program. We are looking forward to giving you a sparkful conversation that we will have right here on the Morning Echo. Every morning you wake up and have to take your phone or go to where there is television at your home, looking at Star Times Channel 529, and watch us and be part of the conversation by also commenting on our social media pages. Juba Echo TV, Juba Echo Radio pages are available. Well, all these things are fully televised. From here now to you, let's have a good and beautiful Monday. See you tomorrow.